Welcome, everybody, to Intensity Broadcasting for coverage of the iOS Dirt Domination Series presented by the iRacing Oval Series. Tonight, these 358 modifieds will be taking on Eldora Speedway, one of the most popular dirt tracks in America. So let's see how they do. I'm going to be your announcer for tonight, Atlee Atman-Weiss, and I am excited to call the fourth race in the iOS Dirt Dominator Series. Got 2 minutes left in practice. Brian Nudie on the top of the board with a 16.95. Donnie Bartlett second with a 16.99. And then third we have Colton Kinsey with a 17.04. Now looking at last week's results, we saw Tyler Kinsey, after winning 2 in a row the first 2 races, then losing the third race and then winning again in the fourth race, he takes the win at Kokomo. And we saw 4 cautions, 5 lead changes with Tyler Kinsey leading 14 laps. He started the race in 6th, had to make his way up through the field. We saw DC Smith finish second, Will Witt third, Ryan Gregoric fourth, and then Chase Richner finished 5th. So we'll see if Tyler Kinsey can get 2 in a row. Looks like he is not currently in the session at the moment. We see Colton Kinsey in the session, but we do not see Tyler Kinsey. So he may not be able to win 2 in a row due to that. And a look at the point standings. With 201 points, Tyler Kinsey is on the top in point standings with 184. DC Smith in second with 1 win and 170 points. Will Witt third with 168 points. We got Donnie Bartlett, and then with 162 points, we have John Bartlett. So the points race is still tight for the most part between especially first and second, Tyler Kinsey and DC Smith. So with Tyler Kinsey not being in the session right now, we might see potentially a new winner. Somebody like DC Smith or Donnie Bartlett or John Bartlett, some names that we've seen up front before, or somebody else, like maybe Brian Nudie, Colton Kinsey. Will Witt might get 2 wins for the season. Mikkel Lofson. Anybody can win here as practice is wrapping up. Brian Nudie with the fastest time, 16.95. Here we go. And this league does not have qualifying. The starting order is going to be determined by heat races. So there we go. We are gridding for our first of 2 heat races. Got Mikkel Lofson. Let's actually take a look here at the starting grid. Mikkel Lofson in that 75, starting on the pole. Brett Merle second. We got Will Witt third, Donnie Bartlett fourth, and then rounding out your top 5, Mason Haney. Starting 6th, we have Eric Burkholter, and starting last but not least, trying to work his way up to the field, we have Colton Kinsey in the 44. It's got 7 cars, and this will determine partially some of the starting order. The other heat race will determine the rest. There's 12 cars in the session, I believe. So we're still waiting on Brett Merle to grid, and then we'll be set. While we wait, make sure to take this time to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, as it would be greatly appreciated because we are on the road to 2,000 followers on Facebook and 1,000 on Twitch and YouTube. So maybe if you followed us on one platform but not the other 2, make sure to check us out on the other 2. And then also check us out on Twitter, as we are on the road to 50 followers. Thank you, Owen Weiss, for liking the stream. And Brett Merle says in the chat, I'm not home yet, hoping to make the main. See a little bit of rush hour. Well, hopefully you'll be able to make it home by the time, who knows, the heat races might take long. You never know. Hopefully you're able to make it back, Brett Merle. Here we go. Mikkel Lofson on the bottom, Donnie Bartlett on the top. Let's go dirt racing here at Eldora for heat race number 1. Getting ready. Pace truck drops off. And we are green flag racing here for heat race number 1 at Eldora. And we're side by side. Got Mikkel Lofson, Donnie Bartlett on the top. Oh, we see the 44 of Colton Kinsey tag the wall. Mikkel Lofson gets a good run in 3 and 4. He's able to get clear of Donnie Bartlett and take the lead. We see Will Witt. He's a bottom feeder right now, running that low line. Gets clear of Donnie Bartlett. Gonna try to track down the 75. Witt, here he comes. Looking on the bottom, trying to get under Mick. I don't know. Can he get a good run? Only 5 laps. Some people will see. TSC Uzi says Chase Richner here couldn't make it. Okay. That is okay. Glad you're still watching. And then Robbie Jr. says, good luck, Atlee, in your racing season, lad. I appreciate that. First race is this Saturday, April 3rd. So I appreciate that. See how we do in the first season in the Bandolero. But as we look back in these 358 modifieds here at Eldora, Will Witt's trying to find anything on the track that'll get him close to Mikkel Lofson. He hasn't been able to get up there. 2 to go. Closed in the gap a little bit. Got a good run in 1 and 2. Pretty much at Eldora. Pretty much at Eldora, you're always turning, it looks like. The straightaway is only a couple. Seems like the straightaway is non-existent. And here's the final lap. Mikkel Lofson has a clean final few turns and takes the Heat Race 1 win. Mick's going to be starting on the front row here in the feature. Let's see if he can get his first win of the season. And now we are currently gridding for our second heat race. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for this one. Got DC Smith, our runner-up in points at the moment. He's starting on the pole. Brian Nudie starting second. Jaden Vogt third. Got Patrick Caluccio fourth. And then rounding out our top 5, we have Todd Shajat. And then starting last but not least, we have Intensity Racing Team's Josh Hall. So there we go. We got all our modifieds on the grid at the moment. And since everybody made it to the grid, we're going to get rolling here for our formation lap. And this is the first time that Brian Nudie has showed off his new Gills Dump Truck Service and Pizzeria paint scheme. The red, white, and blue. He missed last week, which was the first race since he had created the paint scheme. So now he finally gets a chance to show it off in the limelight. Let's see if it'll fuel him to the Heat Race 2 victory. But got DC Smith starting it on the bottom. We know he's got a fast 358 modified. Let's see what he can do. Getting set. On the pace truck when he wants to pull in, and then we'll be green flag racing. There goes the pace truck dropping onto pit road. And green flag is out for heat race number 2 at Eldora. And getting a great start is DC Smith, able to get clear of Brian Nudie side by side for second. Got Nudie and Jaden Vogt on the bottom. Brian able to get clear, running that high side and riding the wall there. Who was that? That was Patrick Caluccio. He goes for a wild ride. I do not think that's how you ride the wall there. Appreciate that, Sean Spinoza. Let's see if anybody get up there to DC Smith. Oh, we got a battle here for fourth. Josh Hall and Todd Shazot trying to get below that 81 Galaxy car. And I know a lot of people are actually mentioning iRacing in the chat, and if anybody wants to keep up with that, check out @Luis Racing on Facebook. As you'll get updated on what all goes on. As I'm currently doing my first season in the Bandolero. Josh Hall able to get clear of Todd Shajat. And pretty much the entire field right now, between each driver, there's about a 0.5 second gap between everybody pretty much. So field right now pretty spread out at the moment. DC Smith has a 1 second lead at the moment over Mr. Brian Nudie. Has that 358 modified on a rail at the moment. Riding that high side, it's working well for him. White flag is out. All he needs to do is just keep it clean, and he'll get the heat race to win. There he goes through 3 and 4. Keeps it clean. DC Smith is going to be our other front row starter here at Eldora for the feature. He takes the heat race to win. Wow. We are going to currently do a little warm-up. Another 3 minutes for these drivers to get acclimated with Eldora. A little bit more practice time. And we'll keep an eye to see who's going to set the fastest time. Since we didn't have any qualifying, this is the closest thing we're going to get to watching to see who's going to have the fastest time, best on the board. Let's take a little bit of time to take a look at the race info. 84 degrees Fahrenheit, 53% humidity, partly cloudy skies, 4 miles per hour wind speed, 83. So the track temperature is 1 degree cooler than the air. And this is a dirt oval in Rossburg, Ohio, 0.44 miles long. So it's a short track, for sure. Like you're always turning. DC Smith sets a good time here in practice. 17.49. He's the fastest at the moment. Colton Kinsey on track. Let's see if he can beat DC's time. And these drivers are also going to take practice to experiment, with different steering ratios. See what works for them, different brake biases. I have heard that you're not on the brakes too much here at Eldora. Take a look at the in-car cam of DC Smith. See what it looks like from his view. See, we got mud splattering on the car. And the cool thing about iRacing is that you can set a special keybind on your keyboard or your wheel so that you can actually have tear off. So if you get too much mud on your visor, you can tear off the little tear offs. If you've been to a dirt race, you've seen little plastic things flying in the air when the drivers rip them off. You know what I'm talking about. I bet those drivers, the NASCAR drivers at Bristol Dirt, really wished they had a button that they could just press. Yep, there you go. See, all the dirt disappeared. It's because he used his tear off. Yeah, oh, and it looks like they've been running that high side. Of course, the track can change. These heat races that we had were only 9 laps, where the feature is going to be 30 or 45 laps. I'm not exactly sure. We got Avery Fast 34, so this is going to be fun. And it's with my favorite announcer. Appreciate that. That is the number 34 Junior Champ Kart Avery Farrell driver at Langley Speedway HRKC's on Sundays. He's looking for a good season at Langley Speedway. Was the fastest in the first open practice. We got to get you on iRacing, Avery. We got to get you on iRacing. Keep looking at the internet, you know, see if anything goes for sale that's cheap. And here we are, we're gridding for our feature event. And I will clarify that this is, let's take a look, 30 laps. And let's take a look at our starting lineup. Starting on the pole, we got Mick Olofsson, Heat Race 1 winner. Heat Race 2 winner, DC Smith starting in second. Will Witt third. Brian Nudie fourth. And then rounding out our top 5, we have Donnie Bartlett. Jaden Vogt starts the race in 6th. Mason Haney 7th. 8th is Todd Shajat. 9th is Eric Burkholter. And then rounding out our top 10, we have Intensity Broadcasting's very own Josh Hall. Colton Kinsey starts in 11th. Patrick Coluccio 12th. And then last but not least, we have Brett Merle. Go. So here we go. Getting set for the feature event. We won't have 2 in a row because Tyler Kinsey is not in a session, which means that we will either have a new winner or if Will Witt wins, he will be getting his 2nd win of the season. But there will be no 2 in a row. So here we go. These 358 modifieds are ready to run. There goes the pace truck dropping off. Green flag is out here at Eldora Speedway. 30 laps in the 358 modifieds, and we're side by side for the lead. And then we're 3 wide. Here comes Will Witt on the bottom. Got a tight race right now, but DC Smith able to get clear of Mick and Will. So that means that we're going to take now a look at the battle. Mick Olofsson gets clear of Will Witt. So let's take a look at the battle for 3rd. We got Will Witt, Brian Nudie, and Brian Nudie able to get clear of the 35 of Will Witt. He's now chasing Mick Olofsson right now. Let's see if he can get by that 75. As we look elsewhere, we got a tight battle between Jaden Vogt, Mason Haney, and Donnie Bartlett. Mainly, though, Mason Haney and Jaden Vogt. Jaden Vogt able to get clear of the 89, so we're side by side between the 89 and 29 of Mason Haney. And Donnie Bartlett, oh, and there's a car flying in the air. What in the world? That was Patrick Coluccio. Let's take a look at the replay from the cockpit view. I guess he was a little bit too fast off, just hit right into the wall. You see the right 2 wheels fly up in the air. Ooh. And there he is on pit road at the moment, getting some airtime already here at Eldora. Goodness, that was crazy. But we got a tight battle for the lead. Mick Olofsson's tracking down DC Smith. DC Smith took the lead with a good start. Got ahead of Mick Olofsson, but I guess with the track changing, Mick found something that worked for him. And he's hard charging. There he comes on the bottom. Can he make the pass under DC Smith? Both drivers looking for their first win of the season. They'll do anything to get that. Getting a good run on the bottom. DC Smith trying his best to hold him off, but all he can do is just hold that high line. He's clear of Mick Olofsson for the moment, so he can take a deep breath. But it's not over yet. He's still peeking under there with 20 to go. Here he comes, the 75 on the bottom. He's got to try to get a good run in the straightaways and then execute it in the turns. Oh, we see contact! Mick and DC Smith trade paint a little bit, but it was not enough to help the 75 get by the 77. They remain side by side, but looks like Mick able to get clear? Nope, still the 77's up there on the high side. Holding his own, but Mick Olofsson is clear for now. DC Smith is trying to come on the outside. This is here he comes again. DC Smith, I don't know if something, let's see, let's take a look at the cockpit view. DC Smith. This is what it looks like to be chasing that 75 at the moment. He's moved from that high side to the bottom now, and looks like he's found something that works for him down there. He's able to re-overtake the lead from Mick Olofsson. And while these two are battling, this is allowing Will Witt to get up to them as well. DC Smith back in a groove, able to get some distance between him and Mick. Able to take a little bit of a deep breath for now. Let's look for any battles right now on track. And just a little fly by the field to see where everybody is at the moment. See, Josh Hall and Brett Merle. They're all doing stuff back here. And, oh, looks like Brett Merle was able to make it to the main. Earlier he said that he wasn't home yet. But he is now home, so glad to see that he was able to make the main. As we look, DC Smith has gotten himself a 1 second lead over Will Witt, who's now in second. As we were taking a look through the field, he took second from Mick Olofsson. Let's see if now that he has some clean track in front of him, maybe he could potentially track down DC Smith with 10 to go. I don't know. Can anybody catch the 77? His lead has gotten down to under a second. He goes. Let's see. We got a battle right now for second. Mick Olofsson, Will Witt. At the moment, they're trading back and forth at the moment. Mick Olofsson running that bottom line. It's a great run in 3 and 4. Able to get barely clear of Will Witt. We'll see if he can try to track down the 77 of DC Smith again. I don't know. Like Jaden Vogt, Brett Merle have parked it for the race. Josh Hall is still out there having fun. Four laps to go. DC Smith has almost a 2-second lead now over Mikkel Lofson. If he can keep it clean, I mean, he's not home free yet, but it's looking good for that 77 of DC Smith. Two to go now. We got a battle right now for fifth with only 2 laps to go. Donnie Bartlett, Mason Haney. Mason Haney gets clear of the 29, but here he goes. But let's look back up front with a 2-second lead. Has had a fast modified all night long. DC Smith goes through 3 and 4. And there you go. He takes the win here at Eldora. First win of the season for that 77 machine, and well-deserved. Runner-up in points. Great race for DC Smith. Wow. Impressive, impressive, impressive performance by that 77. Mick Olafson finishes second. Take a look at the finishing results. There we go. We got it out. So finishing first, DC Smith. He had a 2-second lead over Mikkel Lofson. Will Witt third. Brian Nudie fourth. We saw Mason Haney finish fifth. Todd Shajat finishes sixth. Eric Burkholder seventh. Colton Kinsey eighth. Rest of these drivers are a lap down. Donnie Bartlett ninth. Josh Hall finishes 10th. Jaden Vogt 11th. Brett Merle 12th. And Patrick Coluccio 13th. Edward Phillips says, good job, DC. Put on a heck of a show, that 77 did. Let's see if he's, right now he's just sitting there getting a picture. Will he burn it down right at Victory Lane? He's got to do a burnout. Nope. Okay. He disconnects. He's in the waiting room. We got to get the other, let's see. Mikkel Lofson and Will Witt. Where's everybody at? Let's see. Will Witt. Neither Will Witt nor Mikkel Lofson in the booth. You know, y'all are watching. Get in Iowa's Dirt Domination series. Wait a couple more seconds for them. There we go. All right. I guess we'll do our winner. Oh, there's Mick. There's Mick. Second. And there's Will. Got it. All right. Let's get Will Wood in. Hey, Will, this is Atlee in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Loud and clear. Yeah, got you.
Oh, looks like I had, sorry, I had my headphones on the wrong, all right, let's see, try this now. Will Witt, this is Atlee in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you. Can you hear me now?
Okay, yep, I had my headphones on. I had the wrong headphones for Discord, but started the race in third. We saw you 3 wide up there at the start, and you fell back to third. Then you saw you trading back and forth with Mikkel Lofson there for a little bit, but then he ended up getting the best of you, and you ended up settling in third where you started. But, I mean, from your perspective, what happened here at Eldora?
Yeah, I mean, overall, it was a fun race. I was talking to Mick. I told him I didn't expect him to throw a big slider in there. When he got back around me, I had to lift pretty big, otherwise I ran him over. Overall, it was a good race. Track lift definitely wore out towards the end, but it was fun. And congrats to DC on the win.
So I gotta ask. I mean, how did you see the track evolve? Like, how was it in the beginning? How was it in the end?
So yeah, in the beginning, it was definitely top dominant. Everybody was kind of single file on the top, and then towards the end, you could really see where guys were starting to move down a little bit. Actually, middle seemed to be working. I tried the very top in the last couple laps. I think that could have worked late on if I would have tried a few more laps.
Got you. Well, still awesome third place performance. Is there any shout outs, family members, sponsors you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, I'd like to thank the whole iOS league that helps us put this on, and obviously Intensity Broadcasting there for making these entertaining to watch.
Thank you for that. And thank you for that awesome performance. You did great here at Eldora, and hopefully we'll see another great performance next week. Have a great rest of your night.
Thanks. Hopefully, we'll talk to you then.
Go ahead and get in second place, Mick Olofsson. Hey, Mick, this is Atlee in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I do, bud.
You start the race in third, make it by Will Witt, and we saw you for a little while competing there with DC Smith up front. We saw you trading back and forth, but it's like something happened, and he was able to get a second, then 2-second lead over you, and then we saw you battling with Will Witt. Saw you pull a little bit of a slide job, awesome move there, and that kept you in the second place position. So, I mean, give us a little rundown of what happened here at Eldora.
Really fun race. I knew DC was going to be tough. He's fast every week. I was able to get ahead of him for a couple laps, but I knew I probably wouldn't be able to hold him off. We touched a little bit, but we were both able to keep it straight and keep going.
Got you. Well, I gotta ask. I mean, you had to have had a strategy coming into the race. Starting on the pole. What was your strategy in the beginning, and how did it change throughout the race?
Really starting on the pole, I wanted to jump out in front of DC right away, but we had pretty equal starts, and so then I had to kind of regroup from there and just kind of hold on to it.
Got you. Well, awesome race. Any shout outs, family members, sponsors you want to thank before we let you go?
Oh, definitely want to thank Harper Salvage, Falcon Graphics, and Northwest Tire.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on your second place finish, and hopefully we will see another great performance next week. Have a great rest of your night.
Thank you.
And now we are getting set for the first place interview with Mr. DC Smith. Here we go. All right, DC, this is Atlee in the broadcast booth. You got a copy? DC, this is Atlee in the broadcast booth. You got a copy? Like we're having some trouble. Try this again. Hey, DC, this is Atlee in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. Well, what an awesome performance. Started the race in second. You and Mick got equal starts, and you were able to get ahead. And then we saw you and Mick trading spots for a little bit, but you got the best of him. And once you got clear space in front of you, you just ran away with it. You had a 1-second lead and then a 2-second lead there. I mean, from your perspective, what happened here at Eldora?
Well, we just started off. I kind of expected the top to be the place that you wanted to be, and it just never came in. And I was just kind of taking it easy. And once Mick passed me on the inside, I moved down and was lucky enough to pass him back and just stayed there. So if it wasn't for Mick showing me that line, he would have probably ran away with it himself.
Awesome. Well, this is your first win of the season, and you're runner-up in points. Do you think this will help you a little bit in points?
Yeah, it kind of takes some of the win away when Tyler doesn't, with him not being here, it's not quite as a big win. And he's kind of the guy to beat, and it's just not as big of a win if he's not here.
Well, looks like tonight you were the guy to beat. Congratulations on the win. Any shout-outs, family members, sponsors you want to thank before we let you go?
Awesome, I appreciate that. No, not really. Just a couple of buddies, the Bartletts and Ace and Haney. We all kind of just get together, turn some laps, and just work on our stuff. And the mod squad is another group that I get to run with, and they're a big help and appreciate everything they do.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on the win, and hopefully we'll see another great performance next week. Have a great rest of your night.
Thank you.
Well, that was an awesome race here at Eldora. We saw some side-by-side action for the lead, some more battles all around the track. It was an overall great race here at Bristol, and I want to thank everyone for watching the broadcast here on Intensity Broadcasting. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, as we are on the road to 2,000 followers on Facebook and 1,000 on Twitch and YouTube. Check us out on Twitter at Intensity Broad 1. I got a question up there. I'm always interacting with the fans, asking questions, so make sure to answer that and check us out on Twitter. And then, as always, make sure to check out the Intensity Broadcasting podcast on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. I'm Atlee Atman-Weiss, and on behalf of the entire Intensity Broadcasting team, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Over and out.